Hello and welcome back. Today we are talking about things I've learned from doing no buys or low buys in previous years, because this is my third year in 2025 going into it again, and there's been quite a few life changes I've made, as well as things I've learned that I would love to share with you guys. The first thing I learned was appreciating things I already have and own, and get rid as much as possible of any entitlement to more things, because I think that throughout doing no buy years before, I started very low-key, pretty much easing into it, because I knew if I just tried to cut everything out right away it's going to be really hard, but by easing into it I was also able to go through my stuff again and again, declutter certain things, realize things I need to still use, add to my project pan, and I've realized, wow, I actually have so much. I'm so blessed that there was opportunities for me to purchase things. There was a lot of gifted items, and overall, by not buying new things, by not adding new things to replace visually the view of the previous things I've owned, I just was so grateful, and still am grateful for everything that I have and I own. The next thing I learned was that keeping a budget and tracking a budget is actually so fun, it's good, and it's really good for you. Previously, before being more conscientious, I used to budget, but I would basically conclude my budget at the end of the month, and I would have such categories as groceries, car, medical, other things, eating out, just basic categories. And at the end of each month, I would see that, oh, dang it, I went over budget here and there. I kind of overspent. And each month it was kind of the same situation, whereas I would write something for an approximate budget, but I would always go over it. And throughout doing the no buy year, not only did I shift from budgeting at the beginning of the month, I was also able to track daily spending habits. And for me, it's super important to do a daily check-in and accountability with myself, because it's so easy to just kind of be going through motions and just kind of completely forget what goals you even have. And then sitting down at the end of the month and going through all of the bank statements and realizing, yeah, I completely forgot, this was not necessary. But having something on the daily just completely changed my perspective about spending. Additionally, from talking to people on the daily, whether it's online, through Reddit, TikTok, any other platforms, I have found that it's pretty easy these days to talk to people about finances and minimalism, because this subject comes up nearly all the time, and I don't even have to bring it up because I feel like people always talk about how costs of everything are rising, or things that they recently bought or didn't buy. And thus I have basically found my community, found my people that I was able to share my successes, my lows, my highs, and learn from them as well. And I think having even one more person who you can discuss this with, whether it's online or somebody in your immediate circle of your friends, that is extremely, extremely helpful. And thus, from talking to others, I have realized that a lot of us are traumatized from our childhood, or have some sort of weird relationship with money, whether we grew up poor, middle class, or upper class. Everybody just has some sort of interesting relationship with money, not necessarily good or bad, but it's just interesting. For example, two children in the same family might grow up, relatively poor, and one of the siblings might be spending all the money that they make to kind of prove to others that they can and show off, and then the other sibling who also got traumatized, they might feel a lot of fear of spending money, and everything that they are going to be doing is just saving. I wish there were more books on trauma and money, and there's really just not that much. There's more so literature on childhood trauma in general, but I do think that a lot of our money issues and consumer spending and spending in general stems from the childhood. I can see it within myself because I see a lot of irrational fears within myself. However, through conscious spending and budgeting, I'm actually trying to correct that a little bit and not fall into any of the extremes category, but rather kind of stay on track and be more so somewhere in the middle and have balance between spending money on necessary things, medically necessary things, and also spending money to have fun while also not overspending money like crazy, because I don't even care about impressing anybody. Like, I don't care what anybody thinks anymore. But I definitely see certain traumas within myself and certain trauma triggers when it comes down to money and spending. I've also learned that your resistance will grow and the consumerist culture will basically have less and less influence on you. At first, it might feel just completely difficult to get out of your comfort zone and to go to the store, and if you don't find anything, just buy something just to buy something because you already made a trip there. And when I started, that was totally me. If I drove to a Sephora and I just couldn't find the shade or whatever I wanted to buy, I would buy something just to buy something. And now I have no problem going into the store, walking around, looking at everything, and leaving completely empty-handed if there's nothing that I need. The next thing is you will be able to see right through the consumerist culture and marketing and how they are trying to market to you and what tactics they're using, whether it's playing on your self-confidence, certain traits you're trying to aspire to be, a certain lifestyle that they're marketing to you. Once you can see clearer, once you basically wake up and have this great awakening, you will be able to see just so much clearer and realize, okay, you know what? I don't actually need this product or this service. They're just playing on my weaknesses. While at the same time, you can also work on turning your weaknesses into strength, such as if your weakness is going to the store, completely blacking out, buying a bunch of stuff, coming back home and realizing, I didn't realize that I just spent $200 on Target while I went to purchase just one thing. The next thing I've learned, and it is huge, is if you slip, do not throw the whole year away. We're currently at the beginning of January and a lot of people feel just a lot of motivation to start something, to go to the gym, to start a no-buy challenge. And the thing is, there will be days when you just feel completely zero motivation and zero discipline, and you might slip. You might buy something that is not on your list. And I just want to say, be kind to yourself and realize that this is a journey. This is a long-term journey. You will not become this amazing manifestation guru with very well-curated spending habits just overnight, because it is such a process. It's okay to slip. It's okay to have your moment. It's okay to purchase things. But if you do come back home with the receipt and the item and you feel pretty bad and you actually did buy something not necessary, just know that you can still make a trip and return it. Additionally, don't feel the need that you need to wait until Monday, until the new month, until the new year to start something again. You can meet yourself where you're at. Start where you're at. If today is a Thursday, then you can start on Thursday. If today is the middle of the month, you start in the middle of the month. The most important thing is to start and not overthink it and just be like, you know what? I'm done with this unnecessary spending. I'm going to start today. And start today. Saying no gets so much easier over time. At first, the first few times will be really hard, but the more you say no and the more you feel in control of your needs and wants and finances, it's going to become easier. I promise you. At first, it is really hard, but give yourself grace. Continue sticking to your goals and it will become easier. The next thing I've learned is that you will be absolutely shocked and flabbergasted at how much money you used to spend on just junk, and you'll be shocked at how much money you can save and put into other categories that are more important, that will make you feel like you're actually going somewhere in life, such as your retirement funds, your savings, your emergency funds, investing in certain quality items to better your life overall. It is really freeing to be out of the system, to be out of the loop in this way, because as soon as the new product is released or something is dropped, these corporations and companies are hoping, okay, we're gonna probably sell this much and this many because everybody's gonna go feral and just be standing in lines to buy our product. For example, the most recent one was semi-annual Bath and Body Works sale, and I didn't purchase anything. I needed to be at $1 in order for me to even consider purchasing it. Sales are just not good anymore. But because I was not influenced to go and purchase things just because everybody's talking about it and there's an overwhelming amount of marketing put towards that, it felt freeing to know that it had no power or influence over me. If you do a no-buy challenge even for a month you will be able to separate and see more clear what your needs and wants are, because a lot of the things are just wants, but you will say to yourself, but I need this to make my life better. And by just having a cleanse, it's basically like doing a no-buy challenge is like a washing machine for your consumerist mind. And 1 month of doing no-buy is like running that washing machine one cycle. The more you do it, the more clearer and sharper your mind becomes. But you will genuinely be happier because you will be richer, you will have more control, you will know what you want and what you need. I also stopped waiting for a perfect moment to start something. I really wanted to start a YouTube channel to kind of document my decluttering journey over the past few years, but I was too scared and I think I didn't have confidence enough to do this, and I still don't. But I started this channel a few days ago and I'm so shocked that over 100 of you subscribed to my channel. I still do not feel confident enough to birth out the thoughts that I have right here into a coherent text that makes sense, but I'm really hoping that the more I do it, the more I will learn as I go, and the most important was to just get in front of the camera and start filming. Because I didn't know by 2024 and was so careful with my spending, my Roth IRA is getting maxed out, my car is filled, the bills are paid, there's a little bit on savings. I started a new separate account to start saving for travel plans and road trips, and it just feels good knowing that I am out of the system. Even though I'm not completely out of the system, I still have to pay for a lot of things that are keeping us in the system, basically. But joining the anti-consumerism movement has helped me a lot. I removed myself from this race to impress, because I honestly could not care less at all about what people think, even though some people definitely understand. Going into 2025, the more people I talk to in real life, they understand why I'm doing minimalism challenge, why I'm doing a no-buy challenge. But there's also a lot of people who cannot grasp the concept. Like, they are still basically going through motions in life. They have not woken up to an agenda, so to speak, and they just cannot grasp or understand or even begin to understand, like, why do you live like this? And that is okay also, because we're all on different paths. We're all in different eras. Somebody can be still in their consumerism and spending era, and I'm out of it. I've been through it. I'm really happy to see that our community is growing. There's definitely a lot of Facebook groups you can join, Reddit, TikTok. Once you like one video on TikTok about decluttering, minimalism, or no-buy challenge, they will recommend you like a million more videos on the subject. But you can also get involved and you can post things anonymously on your small progress, and the community is very welcoming. In my opinion, you will be welcomed and you will be celebrated whatever small changes you make. The next videos I'm planning, I'll be showing you my capsule closet, my minimal makeup set, and just like hygiene items that I use, and also I'll be showing you some corners of my place that I have minimized as much as I could. I appreciate you for watching this video, and oftentimes whenever I watch videos of this type, I'll be cleaning or organized. I would just put my phone down, play it, and listen to these as a podcast, as if I'm talking to a friend who's telling me and encouraging me to be more mindful of my consumption as I'm doing things and running errands. So maybe you could do the same with my videos. Thanks so much for watching.